What's going on, guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't been as active within like the past couple of weeks. I had a couple friends from Florida come in and we was just kind of having a great time in Houston while they were here. So I just took a couple weeks off to kind of regroup and reconnect with some old friends, and we had a great time. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw all the crazy videos and everything that we were doing there. So if you want to kind of get a glimpse into what I do outside of YouTube and Twitch, go ahead and follow me on my Instagram. All that's going to be linked down in the description. That is not what this video is about. I know you guys are here for the title. You guys want to know what games were shown at E3 that I'm super excited about, so we're gonna hop right into that. I watched the majority of the conferences and I took a couple notes of the games that I just want to kind of highlight here. So without further ado, let's jump into it. And of course, as always, leave a comment down below and let me know what games you're looking forward to that was shown off at E3. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first off, we have Ubisoft. And by the way, guys, I will be putting timestamps in the description. So if you want to kind of skip around to hear my thoughts on certain companies, definitely feel free to do so. But with Ubisoft, there are really only two games that caught my attention with their presentation. Number one being Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Now, when I was watching the Ubisoft conference live, I saw a lot of people in the comments section, also a lot of people on Twitter just hating on this game, just ragging on it. And I am here to tell you, do not, and I repeat, do not sleep on Mario plus Rabbids. If you're a fan of real-time strategy, games like XCOM or whatever the case is, Mario plus Rabbids is a game that you want to go ahead and add to your Switch library. Just like you guys, I was a little skeptical when it first came out and I was actually gifted the game, but man, when I played it, I had a phenomenal time with the first one. So I am definitely looking forward to Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. The trailer looked promising. It looks like they're adding a lot of gameplay elements, and I like the fact they're taking them out of the Mushroom Kingdom. That's definitely going to add some more diversity to, you know, the landscapes and what you can do. So that's going to be pretty cool. And the second game is Far Cry 6. Now, I am a Far Cry fan. I love Far Cry 3 and 4. I wasn't too crazy about 5, but I'm excited for Far Cry 6. I'm gonna love to see what they're gonna do with the characters and the environments, and hopefully this is a return of form to Far Cry. Like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of Far Cry 5, so hopefully Far Cry 6 kind of reeled me back in. So we'll see. But yeah, as far as Ubisoft, that was pretty much it. All right, next up we have Microsoft and Bethesda. Now, depending on your taste in games, you know, a lot of people were saying that Xbox and Bethesda had the best conference out of everyone. And like I said, I'm not going to agree or disagree with that. I just think it really kind of depends on, you know, what your taste is. But for me, there was only three things that really kind of stuck out to me during this conference. You know, a lot of the games just did not do it for me. I mean, it's just not my taste in games. But number one, the Halo multiplayer. Now, I am a fan of Halo multiplayer. I used to play a lot of Halo 2 and Halo 3 back in the day, and the multiplayer trailer that they showed during their conference, it actually looked really good, and I'm really excited to see, you know, what they're gonna do with that, and the fact that it's completely free. I think that's going to be very interesting as well. So Halo multiplayer looks great. I can't say that I care about the campaign. You know, I'm not really big on Halo lore like that, so I can't really say the campaign is really exciting me, but the multiplayer definitely looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure a lot of my friends are going to be on that, so I'm probably going to be on that. So that looks like it's going to be cool. The second thing is Yakuza 7 hitting Game Pass, which if you guys are following my Worth the Play series, you know I am in the midst of like reviewing all the Yakuza games. And right now I just wrapped up Yakuza 4, going into 5, and I was about to buy Yakuza 7 just to have it in my collection, but now that it's on Xbox Game Pass, I can just play it there. So that was a nice announcement. I was excited for that. And the third thing is Psychonauts 2. You know, I am a fan of the first Psychonauts, and anytime we have I don't want to say a big budget, but anytime that we have a major company showcasing a 3D platformer, I always get a little excited because those are the games that I grew up on, the games that I love personally. So Psychonauts 2 is definitely something I'm going to be playing when it hits the Xbox platform. So yeah, that's all I got for Xbox and Bethesda. All right, next up we had Square Enix. Now, Square Enix is one of the companies I was probably the most hyped for because, you know, I love RPGs, you know, games like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, so on and so forth. And Square Enix, I feel like, you know, their batting average is pretty good. I mean, they rarely miss. I mean, yeah, in recent time they had, you know, Avengers and Balan's Wonderworld, but besides that, Square Enix is pretty solid. So as far as their conference goes, they didn't reveal too much, but the things that they did touch on are things that I'm pretty excited for. Number one being Final Fantasy Origins. Now, when I first saw the Origins trailer, I automatically thought Devil May Cry. It kind of gave me like a Devil May Cry vibe, but a lot of people were saying that this is going to be like Dark Souls as far as the combat, and it's going to mix in some Final Fantasy elements. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with that. This is a prequel to Final Fantasy 1. So yeah, I'm definitely interested. I'm going to be keeping my eye out on this one. The second game that caught my attention during Square Enix was Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this is going to be a single-player game, single-player Marvel game, which is not developed by Crystal Dynamics. So anybody who is scarred by Avengers, this is a whole different team working on this. So I think that they have something good going. I enjoyed the trailer. I like what they showed. And the fact that it's a single-player adventure, I definitely think I'm going to enjoy this. Because I love the Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy game. Guardians of the Galaxy was actually one of my favorite MCU movies. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the IP and how the game is going to play. And the third game is something that we already knew about, but I'm still excited nonetheless, and that is Life is Strange True Colors. Life is Strange is actually one of my most anticipated games this year, so as soon as that drops, I'm definitely going to be streaming that on my Twitch channel, and I can't wait to get my hands on that game. So, but yeah, Final Fantasy Origins, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Life is Strange True Colors are the 3 games I'm looking forward to from Square. All right, next up we had Capcom, and Capcom was actually the most disappointing for me. I feel like a lot of the things that they showed, they already announced, or they could have just made a tweet about it. They didn't have to have a full presentation. But Capcom, the only thing I have on my notes are 2 different things here from them. Number 1 being Monster Hunter Stories 2. Now, I never played Monster Hunter Stories 1. I know that was a 3DS game, but after watching the trailer that they showed during the Capcom presentation for Stories 2, it really kind of piqued, it really kind of hit my interest. Ironically, you know, I'm not a big Monster Hunter fan. I never really touched the games. I've always been mildly curious, but Hunter's Stories 2 seems to be like an RPG spinoff. But just looking at some of the gameplay, you know, the gameplay for it, the aesthetic, it looks like something, or an RPG I can see myself getting into. So I'm definitely going to be checking out the demo, and I may even make like a demo impressions video on Stories 2. But I like what I saw there, so I'm going to keep my eye out on that. And the second game that they announced, and the last thing, you know, in my opinion, that they announced was Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, Ace Attorney is a game that is on my backlog. I do own the trilogy on Switch, and I have to play through it because I'm really interested in the series. But Ace Attorney Chronicles, I like what they showed off. I like games with very strong narratives, and I like games, you know, that are like visual novels. So Ace Attorney looks like it's right up my alley. So once I finish the trilogy on the Switch, I'm definitely going to be looking more into Ace Attorney Chronicles. So, but yep, that was it for Capcom. They really didn't announce anything else besides, you know, Resident Evil Village, you know, DLC, and they touched on esports and Pro Tour and all that, which I didn't really care about. So, but yep, that was it for Capcom for me. All right, now we have the Nintendo Direct. Now, you guys know I was super excited for Nintendo. As you guys know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I lean more towards the Nintendo, Sega spectrum when it comes to gaming preferences. So usually anytime there's like a Nintendo Direct, I'm super excited for it. So the number 1 game, right? Let's just get it out the way. The number 1 game that I am looking forward to is Metroid Dread. Now, as you guys know, I love a good 2D Metroidvania, whether it's Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Super Metroid, Zero Mission, Fusion. I love them. I love them. So when they announced Metroid Dread, I got excited. And I'm gonna love to see what they're gonna do with this. It looks like you're under a constant state of being chased, which kind of gave me Metroid Fusion vibes, and I know it's Metroid 5 technically, so it makes sense. It looks like it's running on a similar engine as Samus Returns on the 3DS, so again, I can't wait to get my hands on this. I'm definitely gonna buy this day 1, review it, stream it, all that fun stuff. So Metroid Dread is definitely one of my top anticipated games they showed off this year. Number 2 is WarioWare, Get It Together. Now, the WarioWare games I've always had fun with. You know, I remember when these came out on the Game Boy Advance, and I remember getting the first one and just really having a fun time. It's kind of like that arcadey, very like bite-sized mini games that are weird but fun at the same time. And honestly, I can see WarioWare being on mobile. Like, for some reason, every time I play a WarioWare game, I'm like, you know, I kind of want to play this on the go on my phone. But I guess now with the Switch, that's a reality now. So that's cool. Mario Party Superstars. So we're taking the best mini games from Mario Party history and some of the best courses from the N64 games, giving them a modern touch-up, or a modern remake, I should say. And we're putting it online, and boys, is it going to be crazy. I cannot wait to get this game and boot it up with friends and play with them. This is going to be so much fun. I'm definitely going to be buying Mario Party Superstars to have it in my Switch collection for those nights that we want to bust out the Mario Party. The Discord calls are going to be crazy. It's going to be a fun time. Number 4, a Sega release, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Now, I don't think this is a Switch exclusive. I think this is also going to be coming on PlayStation and Xbox, but I love Super Monkey Ball. If you guys don't know, Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games from that era. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big Sega fan, so Banana Mania, there's no question I'm going to buy this day one. You know, I am a huge supporter and promoter of Super Monkey Ball ever since Banana Blitz HD and even before that. So support Super Monkey Ball, because I would love to see more games in the future. So yeah, the next thing they showed off, or the next thing that they showed off I got excited for, was Fatal Frame. I feel like Fatal Frame is a very underrated horror series in the West, so hopefully when they bring this over to Switch, it'll put it in front of some fresh eyes, some fresh faces, and they kind of grow an appreciation for it. So that'd be cool. Nintendo also showed off some Breath of the Wild 2 footage that was pretty cool. Like I said, I've said this before, I'm not a huge Zelda guy. Like, I appreciate the franchise. You know, I know its significance to the gaming industry. I get it. But when it comes to Nintendo franchises, it's not the first one I gravitate towards. So whenever time there's a Zelda announcement, I don't necessarily get like super excited, but I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm gonna play that when I get around to it. You know, I do enjoy Zelda. I reviewed a couple of the games on the channel. I believe just Age of Calamity and Wind Waker. But no, Breath of the Wild 2, it looks great. I love Breath of the Wild 1. I completed it and had a great time exploring all through Hyrule. So it looks like they're definitely expanding the exploration a lot more, which I'm excited for. So the gameplay they show looks promising, it looks good, and I can't wait to dig into this game and kind of get lost in this world. And the last thing they announced, well, I should say this is actually the first thing they announced, but the last thing on my list was the Tekken and Super Smash Bros. Crossover. Now, to be honest with you guys, I am not a Tekken fan. I didn't grow up with the series. I've always been kind of more of a Capcom fighter. So games like Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, Rival Schools, Marvel vs. Capcom, that was more my speed growing up. Tekken, I never got into Tekken. I never got into it. I have friends who swear by Tekken, who loves Tekken, and those same friends, they're super excited for this. So I'm happy for them, but you know, the Tekken announcement didn't really do much for me personally, but I am happy for those who are happy to see this in the game. So can't take that away. All right. As always, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking some time out to watch my videos, share them with your friends, and just spreading the love everywhere. I see the subscriber numbers are going up, and I'm getting comments on my Twitch channel and my YouTube channel, and just even in my DMs on Twitter and Instagram how you guys are loving the videos, and I really appreciate it. As always, guys, don't forget to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and engage, man. I love to see the engagement. And oh, by the way, we do have merch, so if you are curious about some of the hoodies I wear in the videos, it is my own merch, and that link will be down in the description as well. Anything that you want to do to help out the channel is awesome. So yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace.